I've dropped the kids at school and nursery, and I've got to rush home because I have a podcast record at 9:30, which I never normally do, but my guest is in Bangkok, so time zone wise it works. But 9:30 it's a tight squeeze to get back from the school run, that's for sure. But I set everything up before I went, so hopefully I can run through the door and just begin. So I made it back in time and have just had a nice chat with Josh Hoffman, who is a digital marketer and personal branding guy. I recommend checking out his stuff actually. He's got loads of writing about freelancing, which is really good. On my way to pick up the kids, definitely been guilty of procrastiworking today. And it's the same thing I've been putting off all weekend. When I did my accounts, I was blatantly putting off writing this script. It's still happening today, even though I said I'd deliver it for tomorrow. Such an idiot. I've blatantly done things today that, you know, it was cool that I got them done, but I really didn't need to. And I did them to push back the inevitable of starting to write a script. And when will I learn? I mean, I have learnt, but when will I get it into my thick brain? But there's no point putting anything off. You just have to start it. Because when you start something, you either figure out what was blocking it in the first place, i.e. you need more information or clarity, or two, you get into the flow of it and actually end up doing the work, and then your brain feels much better for it. But doing nothing with it, that just does nothing. Has also made me realise though that one of the things which is holding me up with the script is the fact that the briefing notes are just full of corporate gobbledygook. Corporations hire people like me in order to take something which is really undigestible and make it palatable. You know, that's part of my job. As I realised that, I thought maybe I need to add that to my website. Look, I'm actually quite a pro nowadays of deciphering corporate jargon and putting it into something a human can understand. But it does also make me think that somewhere at the other end of that chain there is somebody who must have taken a concept which was essentially simple and human, and they turn it into corporate jargon. We're like human enigma machines. So the script which I'd been putting off, I finally did. I stayed up later last night and then got up earlier this morning and got it done. And then this morning, after dropping the kids off, just went through it, made sure I was all happy with it. So that's now with them for feedback. I should never have put it off so long. Why is it that sometimes you need a deadline in order to motivate you? And then I was going to be editing videos today, but it's so nice that I've decided to write scripts instead. I was going to write them tomorrow, just move my week around, because if I'm writing scripts I don't need to be on my iMac. I can sit here outside. The biggest perk of working from home ever. It's Thursday and managed to get the vlog edited last night and had plans for today, and I'm not quite sure how they're going to go. Going to have to be flexible because our daughter was sick in the night. But bless, my wife took one for the team and stayed up with her, so they both slept in the lounge. So I, after the initial excitement, managed to get back to sleep. walked our son to school, and now just walking back. It's a glorious day. It's funny, I mentioned earlier in the week about Procrastiworking, and how I was blatantly doing it to put off writing that script, which went down really well, by the way. They loved it after all that. But yes, Procrastiworking. And then yesterday when I was out for a run, I was listening to the Design Life podcast. They were talking about Procrastiworking, and it's a really good listen. I'll put a link in the notes below. It's a good podcast with Femke and Charlie. But they do say that, you know, maybe it's not a bad thing, Procrastiworking, so long as you realise that you're doing it. So I've done alright today. I think what I did well was picked the work that suited having people at home. So this morning when my wife and daughter were asleep in bed all morning, that's when I focused my attention on writing scripts, because they really need a lot of concentration. And then when our little girl came downstairs and was sitting at the same table as me, albeit doing some drawing, and you know, I wouldn't have been able to write a script then, but I could do some video editing. Yeah, I deliberately split my tasks up, and because of that, I feel like I've done all right. So yeah, Friday, end of the day. My wife's off sick today. Bless her, she's been watching films. I've been getting loads done actually. This week seems fairly uncatastrophic. Just done my job. What I do need to do though is edit the Being Freelance podcast tonight, because Saturday night I definitely can't do it, because for once I'm going out. I'm going to a party, a house party. I don't think I've been to a house party for about 10 years. I've come all the way into London for our friend's party, working on the train, but I feel rubbish. And as you know, my daughter was sick Thursday, my wife was off work yesterday, so maybe it's my turn. So yeah, I'm about to get back on the train that I just got off of and go home. I don't want to pass it on to anybody. On the plus side, because I thought I was going to be out, I've already done everything I need to do, so I can just crash and not worry about it.